I am joining you live on my YouTube channel, Stamping with Rose Coleman. I hope you found me. I am so excited to join you today to share the Technique Club cards for September. I have enjoyed this Technique Club for coming up 23 years. My anniversary as a demonstrator is going to be on October 4th, which is just next week. I am so excited that I've had this opportunity to be a creative coach, a stamping teacher. Uh, I just love what I do. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me here, whether you're watching the replay or you're joining me live. If you are with me live, please let me know in the comments section. Leave me a comment. I do have my laptop. I'm looking off to the corner here to see if I can see your comments. I just want to, it takes a little bit for the internet to catch up, but it shows that I'm live. So let me know when you're here. And I also want to invite you to subscribe to this channel so you can get all of my videos, to your inbox with YouTube whenever I post them. I love to do videos. It is what's in my heart. This is my favorite way to teach stamping and to share my love of stamping with you. So I invite you to join me. Okay, so today, this class, I do collaborate with Christine Bertram from the United States. So Christine provides these card kits to all of the US ladies or gentlemen, and I provide these card kits for the Canadians. So if you're watching and you're from Canada, you can reach out to me. I can send you these card kits and get you going on your very own technique journey here with me. And then Christine can also do the same. So reach out to Christine if you like what you see. Christine has messaged me that she has she has 2 kits left for this class today, okay? And I also have 2 kits left. So let me know if you would like to join. Let me or Christine know, depending on the country you're in. That is a Stampin' Up! Rule. We can only do business in our own country. So hi, Marie. Thank you for joining me. I see your comment. Okay, so let me see. I see you here on my screen. Let me see if I can see this a little bit bigger here on my laptop because it's very small on my iPad, on my phone here. So bear with me for 1 second. Okay, I see that. I am live on YouTube. Yay. Here in YouTube land. And I see, I'm just trying to see if I can see the comments. Join the chat. Open the panel. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it now. Hi, Jen Jen. I'm so excited you're here with us. Thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting. I am trying to get my chat up on my computer screen so hopefully I can see it bigger and then be able to see your chat, your comments as I'm creating here with you. Alrighty, so everything changes. Let's see. Join the conversation. All right. Hi, Kelly. Hello. Oh, Kathy. Is it Kathy? Yes. See, it's hard for me to see the comments on my screen, so on my phone screen. So I'm just going to pull this up. And I don't know why I can't see. Oh, there we go. It moved away. All right. Okay, so please bear with me. Hello, Marie. Hello, Jen. All the ladies are in the house here with me. We're going to get started momentarily here. I do have a roll call. Christine and I love to thank. We are so grateful for all of your support. And we want to do a shout out to all the ladies that are in our clubs. And I have Christine's list here. It was here on, oh yeah, here it is under my laptop, right here. And I have a list of the ladies that join me in Canada as well. So we're going to get started. Let me get back to the video here on my laptop. And there we go. Let's see, fingers crossed. I can see, yay. Hi, Gail Stefan, thanks for joining me. It's so good to have you all with me, and I can see your comments. They are nice and big, so I can actually read them from my laptop. Okay, wow. All right, so Just looking. All right, I think we're good. Hello, Kelly. Hi, Jen Jen. Hello, Gail. All right, so leave your comments. I can read them nice and clear now. So let's do a little roll call. For my United States viewers that are with Christine and have joined Christine's club, I'm going to shout out your name and say a huge thank you to you for getting these card kits from Christine and joining our monthly class here. Marie says, making a test, casting you on the TV's big screen like you're, oh my gosh. Marie, you're so funny. I don't think I'm ready for the big screen, Marie. You're making me more nervous now. Okay, so let's shout out the ladies from the United States. We have Mary Jo Stahl, Julie Bontreasure, I hope I said that right, Julie. Karen Woods, Angelique McClendon. Angelique Schaefer. Angelique Schaefer was McClendon. She's got in brackets. So maybe Angelique got married. If so, Angelique, congratulations. Kelly Gibson, Barbara Rudolph, Faylene Mays, Joanne Can, Leslie McMinn, Lynn Beasley, Vicky Rodriguez, Nicole Herrick, Carla Lake, and Becky Rower. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to the YouTube Live and to our September 2025 Technique Club class, okay? Now, for my ladies in Canada, I'm going to call out the names. We have Amanda Woods, Dawn McMillan, Kim Campbell, Kim Barraclough, Colleen Winter, Alexina Walsh, Kathy Clark, Debbie Smith, Penny Martin, Kathy Slager, Jen, who's here with us today. We have Gail Stefan, who's also here with us today. Yay, Gail. Bernice Panchishan, Candace Oliver, Trudy Mainville, Marie Lefebvre, who's here. Hi, Marie. Good to see you with me. Linda Norman, Elaine Swerdfisher. I always say it that way. I think it sounds fancy. Elaine Swerdfisher. Janet Westeen, Maggie Olson, and I think that's all I have. I know some of you have already messaged me in the last week you want to join, but I believe you're joining in October, so I will shout you out in October as the official start of your Technique Club with us. Okay, so this month we are, hi Marie, thanks for the hand waves. This month we are playing with the Gathering Together suite. This Gathering Together is an amazing suite for fall projects, Thanksgiving projects, absolutely stunning projects. I can't put it down. Honestly, I've been making scrapbook pages, cards for weeks and weeks now, and I'm still not full of it yet. I just love it. So we're gonna play with that one. That is our technique that is our bundle of the month. Now, if you are, or the suite that I'm featuring, if you don't have this stamp set, don't worry. You can pull out any greeting set. If you are in this club, you're gonna get all the die cuts. We do make sure that our club ladies get taken care of. They get every die cut and all the labels. You'll be ready to stamp because this is a photopolymer stamp set, right? So when I flip the camera, you're gonna be able to see. Hi, Lynn, thank you so much. Yes, you're here, yay. So it's a photopolymer stamp set, so you're gonna be able to see where you're stamping, which is, oh no, sorry, this one's a cling stamp, I apologize. However, you're still gonna be able to see, and I'll show you that as we go along here. But if you don't have the Gathering Moment stamp set, you're still going to be able to participate. So when I design these cards every month, I do try and make them versatile enough so that you don't have to buy the stamp set. But of course, you're gonna want the stamps, right? When you see how wonderfully they pair with the dies, it's always an amazing thing, right? So Jen's giving a shout out. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate your kind words for my Technique and Scrapbook Club. Those are my babies. Those are my two things that I love dearly in my business. And I treasure you guys so much for being here with me and allowing me to teach this class. So let's get started. Let's flip the camera and I'll share with you what we also send our club members. We send them not just the projects, that are cut, ready to go and ready for you to stamp and have a successful stamping experience, but we also send technique sheet binders, okay? technique binder sheets. That's the right way to say it. So what that means is you can keep these little sheets in a binder so that at the end of 10 months with a technique club, you can flip back through and see all 10 techniques that you've done. And if you, because the ladies used to say to me, oh, I love technique club, but I give the cards away and then I forget how to do the technique. So my solution for that are these binder inserts. Okay. So you can put them in a binder, whatever binder you want. You can use the Memories of More binder. You can put them on a piece of white copy paper, slip them into a page protector, put them into a regular school binder. It's totally up to you. I have some ladies that glue them together. I'll show you that when I flip the camera. And they put them on a binder ring, just a little ring that you can get like at Staples, and then they put all the cards on there and they can flip through the cards and find a technique. So there's no right or wrong way. It's really just a personal preference how you'd like to store those pieces of information. Alrighty, let's get started. Today, what we are doing, our technique for September is stitching. Okay, we are going to hand stitched card technique. Isn't that fun? I think I'm going to be stitching for a long time. And I've taught this class twice now at Boston Pizza, and you can tell who are the cross stitchers and the quilters and seamstresses because they love this technique and they whip through it in no time. So, but it is a fun little way to add a little bit of extra something to your card and make it special. And that's what it's all about, right? With card making and techniques. Techniques take your cards and your scrapbook pages to another level, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to flip the camera, point you down at my work surface, so just be prepared. I'm just gonna turn the camera. You'll see a little glimpse of my backyard and the beautiful blue sky we have here in Alberta, and my beautiful glass mat studio where we'll all be doing the projects today. So here we go. We're going to flip you now. And there we are. Okay, so let's take a look at my glass mat studio here. I will point you down. So you're now looking at my desk. Hello, Annika from the Netherlands. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are here on YouTube with the Technique Club for September 2025, and we are featuring the Gathering Moments. So you'll need the Gathering Moments stamp set if you want to stamp your cards exactly as I'm going to do it, but you do not have to, as I mentioned earlier. You can have any greeting set that you want in your collection. These are the dies that come with this if you're buying it as a bundle, which I always recommend because you save 10%. So let's just talk about the dies for a second. I'm going to pop these out. I have them on a magnetic sheet here, and I put Post-it tape to secure these two layers together. So these dies are going to be the star of the show today. So you can use them separately, and you can cut out just the outline of a leaf, right? You can cut out your designer series paper just with the leaf. So you can use this one by itself, or you can take it up a notch by putting this insert inside like this. And then you can, I've used some Post-it tape to adhere them together so they stay together for running through my machine. So that's optional. So that's what we've done to prepare these kits that we send you. So there's this one with the holes. And then there's this one, right? So we've got both of those that have that feature. And then we have these dies here that cut out the stamped images, okay? So a lot of beautiful dies here, set of 11 of them. All right, so then we're going to play with the stamps today and the card kits. So we are going to bring in, the first kit I want to bring in is from you're going to get your envelopes from us, and inside your envelopes are all your pieces. So I'm going to bring in the Old Olive package. Okay, so this is what your package will look like. Pull out your Old Olive card and you'll have all the pieces. Let me show you the card we're going to make. This is the first card we're going to make today. It is a bookbind card. This is a fun fold that I love. And there's the inside. And we've got a feature over here using some stitching. Now, if any of you are cross stitchers, you may see this and see something very familiar, right? I used to do cross stitch when I was in university as a student. It was a great hobby that I used to do every day. I'd do a little few minutes of cross stitch and create a beautiful design. I used to do that a lot for Christmas gifts for my family. So this one's near and dear to my heart. So we're going to stitch this edge here. We're going to do stitching. We're going to do this stitching technique on 2 cards out of 3. Usually we do 1 card, but this month I got really excited and we're doing 2. Thank you, Jen. I'm happy you like this one. So that's what the card is going to look like when we're done, but let's dive into your package. So you've got a package here with Old Olive, and inside you're going to have all these pieces from us. You're going to have a label for your front greeting, and then you're going to have this one here for the background. We've got a piece of basic white with a new embossing folder, this 3D wreath here. We're going to play with that. And then we've got a piece of basic white for the inside. Okay. And this one, you should have bling. Mine are still in the envelope. Okay, so if you're missing, go back to your envelope. Here they are. There's the bling, okay? So we got some dots. Alrighty, so the first thing we're gonna do with this card, and also in this one, there's a piece of early espresso that looks like, let me grab another package. It looks like, let me see, like this. Okay, so I want to share with you where this came from, because this is not in your die set, but Christine and I prepped this and sent it to you. So this is a strip here with your holes for stitching, and I want to share. It came from the Trusty Tools. So when you join these clubs with me and Christine, you get the die cuts, right? So we pull out our our beloved dies and supplies, and we send you the things that you need. So this came from the pegboard from Trusty Tools. Okay, so anything, you will now look at your stamps. I'm sure after this class, you're going to look at your stamps in a whole new way. Anything that cuts out holes, you can stitch it, right? And if it doesn't have holes, you can make holes with your Take Your Pick tool and your Stampin' Pierce mat. So creativity, use your creativity and find things that you already own to be able to stitch. So I took this piece, I cut it with early espresso, and then I turned it and I cut it into these strips like this, see, like this. And I got this strip for the edge of our card. So that's the piece that's going to go on the edge over here. I mean, it looks fine without even stitching it, but we're going to use this today. And I want to share with you, in your card kit, you would have received as well a long piece of the Old Olive thread. So the Gathering Moments suite includes the thread, okay? Let's see, and I've got mine here started. Okay, so you're gonna need a needle, some kind of a blunt needle, a darning needle, if you guys know what that is. It's basically a needle with a really large hole and a large eye, right, for you to thread this thread through. So I've gone ahead and started this piece just to save you time. So you've got Old Olive here, and what I did with this one is I started at the bottom down here, and I decided to go diagonal all the way up. So I went from one hole like this to the next over here. So I'll use my Take Your Pick tool. So I started down here and then went there. Then I went, so I did all of the diagonals going up, and then I turned it, and then I did the diagonals coming down, and I'm just about to finish. So I've got my little needle here, and I'm just gonna go into that hole. I'm holding my piece close to the camera so you can see, and then I'm just going to do an X like that. Now, if you are a cross stitcher, you know we do X's. Typically cross stitchers will do X's. So this way you can do a different way, right? You could do X's, or you could do the diagonals going up the strip and do the diagonals coming down the strip on the other side. So when you get to the end, this is the beauty of paper crafting, you guys. We don't have to tie knots and hide our stitching and stuff, because the back, who cares what it looks like? No one's going to see it. Well, I guess it's the same thing with cross stitch too, right? So I'm going to lay this down on my table here. I'm going to bring in our handy dandy mini glue dots, and we're going to use that to anchor this down. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, grab a mini glue dot. I'm going to put that on the cardstock here. Let me hold it close and show you. I've got it right there, right? So then I'll just take this thread and just make sure it touches the glue dot. That's going to anchor both pieces down. So I'm just going to do a little X at the back like that. And then I can bring in my snips and snip off all of these. Yes, Lynn, the pegboard, I mean, that's a really big die, and I only cut it in strips, but imagine you could probably make your own designs by leaving the pegboard intact And, you know, like I'm sure you guys are super creative. You could do this pegboard, and this is like your Aida cloth, right? For cross stitch. And then you could like probably stitch a letter, an initial or something, right? So possibilities are endless. So grab the trusty tool dies, even if you just need it for the pegboard. It's such a cool die. Okay, so we're going to just put our needle off to the side here. And this is the decorative strip for the side of our piece. So that's going to go over here. Now, some of the ladies at my Boston Pizza class stuck it down with liquid glue. You just have to not be messy if you're going to use liquid glue. I would prefer, and I would recommend using glue dots just to make sure you know where your adhesive is going and you don't mess things up, have it too gunky, right? So I'm going to grab my glue dots and put a few of those around. Okay, so I'm going to put in the spaces here, I'm going to place the glue dots so that I can anchor this onto my card. So put, let's see, put 4 or 5. The more the better, you know, to really secure this down. This is really like the fun part, the focal part of the card. This is the fancy part, right? So we want to make sure that we've got it anchored down good. Okay, so there we go. We've got, how many did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glue dots. You could possibly put tear and tape there too, and that would also hold it down. So press that down. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, if you send that card to someone, they're going to feel the love, you guys. They're going to know, wow, she really loves me. She took the time to make me such a special card, right? Why don't you use double-sided tape? You know what? I could. You totally can, Annika. You can use double-sided tape. You could use glue dots, whatever it is you prefer. I just use glue dots today. Okay, so for the inside, I'm holding it here to show you this little panel. We're going to put liquid glue, and we're going to close the card, and this is the book bind. So you want to press on there and make sure that gets anchored down like that. Okay, so now let's grab our bone folder and reinforce this. That'll help get that glue setting up like that. Okay, so that's the book bind. And then what we're going to do, you've got this piece here that's been embossed with the new wreath die. Oh my gosh, I love this die. We're going to add some green to this to make it look like real life, like you're looking into the center of a wreath, right? So we're going to use Old Olive and a blending brush to do that. So let me grab my Old Olive here. And I'm also going to grab a cherry cobbler blend to add to the little holly berries, okay? Okay, so here we go. We're going to open the ink pad. We're just going to get some ink on our blending brush. And you can tap your first tap on your Glass Mat Studio just to get excess ink off. And we're just going to go around this wreath as much as you want, right? You can make it as dark as you like. You can always add more ink. You just can't take it away. So go light, go soft, and then you can add more. Okay, so here we go. I'm just gonna go all the way around, add the color to the wreath. Just like that on the raised edges. Look how pretty this is turning out. I love blending with blending brushes. It's such a fun, that's a technique in itself, right? Grab your blending brushes and grab your ink pads, all your favorite colors, and blend and blend until your heart's content. Okay. So maybe a little bit more color up here. And if your ink pad needs to be re-inked, make sure you have a re-inker for every ink pad. Very, very important, right? There's nothing any worse than your ink pad drying out and then you realize you didn't buy the re-inker. I always, personally, when I buy a new color ink pad, I always buy the re-inker right away so that I can always have the ink to juice up my ink pad again, right? Okay, so we're going to just add a little bit more over here, maybe a little bit along the edges. Blend, blend, blend. Okay. Just watching to see if you guys have any questions. If you have questions, let me know. I'm watching. I can see your comments. Okay, so there's the front piece. That's going to go right over here like that. Okay. And then our greeting is going to go in the center of this wreath. So I wanted to have a little bit of white space in the back to really highlight it. So that's what we're doing there. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll glue this piece down and then that's done. We'll get this glued onto the card front like that. And when you're using this embossed image. It's heavily embossed. This is 3D embossed, right? So you want to make sure you put a lot of glue on there so that you can get this stuck down good. Okay, so there's nothing any worse than pieces falling off your card. So use a sufficient amount of glue. You need extra glue if your cardstock is embossed because it's super bumpy. All right, so press that. Make sure the glue makes contact with the cardstock underneath that. And then I'm just going to wipe off this ink from my Glass Mat Studio. And now these labels that I'm going to use now, these are from the Traditional Label dies. Oh my heavens. This is a new set that came out with the mini catalog, the September to December mini. I love all of the labels. I had to use all of them on my cards for this month. Okay, so this one is our label for the front, and this is going to be the background. These labels have lots of features like this. This is like a banner, and the stamps go with this banner as well. And it's got like a cut in the middle, so you could like feed ribbon through there. There's all kinds of creative stuff you're going to be able to do with these banners, right? So grab this. It's called Traditional Labels. You're going to love it. Okay, so let's bring in the Gathering Moments stamp set. And we're going to grab the word gather. We're going to stamp with that with Early Espresso ink. So you're going to need some inks. Let me grab the colors we're going to need here. We're going to need Early Espresso, Cajun Craze, Old Olive, Pecan Pie. Let's get them all in the screen here. What else? Crushed Curry. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's do this. First things first, let's stamp the word gather. Whenever I stamp a label like this and I have a big greeting, I want to do the greeting first, right? Do your biggest image first, so then that's done. The rest are going to be accents around the edges. So we'll do the gather with Early Espresso ink first. Okay, so here we go. Tap, tap, tap. And we'll stamp that right in the middle. You see, it doesn't really matter that this is cling versus photopolymer. You can still line it up just fine. Stamp straight down and straight up. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful gather. Okay, so then we're going to bring in all the fun other images. I love all these images, and I'll hold the stamp set close. I want to show you. These are like distinctive, right? They have, Stampin' Up! Has made these stamps to look, can you tell when I hold it close, like the leaves have different measures of light on them. So when you, I'm trying to say it picks up the light when you stamp it, right? So when you look at these leaves and the acorn and the mushroom and everything, it's made that way to give you light and dark tone. Okay, so I appreciate that so much. So we're going to grab all of these, a lot of these images from the stamp set. Yes, I love these stamps too, Jen. I agree. Totally beautiful. So we're going to grab the big leaf. We're going to grab we're going to be putting everything on a block. We might as well, because we're going to be using it, right? We've got an acorn here. We got these little berries here. I think that's good for now. So let's get some blocks going here. All right, so everything goes on a block. Best tip I have for you not to lose anything, when you take it out of your stamp set, put it on a block, right? Put it on a block, and the appropriate size block if you can, if you have blocks the right size, because when you use a block that's too big, what happens is a lot of times you get edges, right? You get the ink on the edges of your block, and then that, tends to end up on your card, and that's not always a good thing, right? So try and use as small a block as you can and still get the image on there. Okay, so let's start with Old Olive. We're going to bring in this. When I was designing this card, I really wanted to make sure everything was balanced. So we're going to do this. We're going to put a green leaf coming down from the top up here. I'm going to stamp on top of my silicone mat, and that's totally fine because I can clean my silicone mat later. I'm going to put another leaf over here like that. Then we're going to bring in Cajun Craze, and we're going to add a couple of those. We're going to add these little berries. These are so fun. Let's add one down here. and one over here. Kind of like what I'm doing to one side of this label, you can do to the other one and keep it balanced. Annika says, I think the leaves in this set are very beautiful, and you can also edit them with different autumn colors. Yep, absolutely, exactly. Okay, so we're bringing in Pecan Pie now. We're going to stamp that amazing acorn. I think this is my favorite stamp in the whole set. I usually stamp with Pecan Pie. Look at that, so fun. And then we're going to bring in Crushed Curry, another fall favorite for me. Crushed Curry, we're going to stamp the head of the mushroom here. We'll stamp that right there. And then this leaf, I don't want to leave this one out. We're going to add this one over here like that, coming in from the side. There we go. All right, so you can add more if you want to. I'm happy with this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring in Cajun Craze, and we're going to add a little bit of Cajun Craze to the edges of this piece. So let's grab my Cajun Craze here. I'm going to use a sponge dauber, a finger dauber on my finger, and we'll tap into the Cajun Craze ink pad, and we'll just kind of, I'm right-handed, so I'm holding the piece in my left hand, and I'm just going to come around the edges of my die cut here and add that beautiful Cajun Craze. Now you could do this with any of these coordinating colors. You could highlight your image with crushed curry, you could do old olive, you could do pecan pie. It all matches, right? That is the beauty of Stampin' Up! Products. True, genuine Stampin' Up! Products, not knockoff products. You are guaranteed, my friends, to have an amazing experience when you use our amazing products. Oh, I just love it. Okay, so there's my label. And we're going to just slide my ink pads out of the way here. And I'm going to give my silicone mat a little wipe to get that excess ink off. Okay, so now we're going to bring in this banner. And I was intrigued on how amazing you can just like layer things on the banner, and it looks like the two ends are just, you know, placed there strategically, right? So we're going to just go ahead and bring in my liquid glue, add some glue to the banner like that. I'm just going to add them along those two strips and put this one on top and that one like that. So fun. And then we're going to flip that whole piece over, and we're going to bring in our dimensionals and add some dimensionals to this. I'm going to add 5 dimensionals to make sure it stays popped up nice. Put one in the middle like that, and 2 more. Okay, so here we go. We're going to peel off the backing and put this on the card front. I haven't forgotten about my little holly berries, so we've got to get those inked up with my cherry cobbler marker. All right, so we're going to put this in place. And then we're going to grab the cherry cobbler blend, and mine is quite juicy because it's new, and the blends are amazing. I love my blends so much. I'm just going to lightly touch these little holly berries, and when you do a light touch, you can actually even almost see the alcohol ink leaving the marker and going into the cardstock and just blending out a little bit to just add that fun color to these berries. So festive, so wonderful. I love that they included this in this 3D embossing folder. It's such a fun accent. Okay, so however many berries you've got on your piece, you can go around and tap them. And then last but not least, we're going to add, well, we got to do our inside piece. So my inside, I said thankful for you, right? I love that. Thanksgiving is coming up really fast here in Canada. We have Thanksgiving October 13th, I believe is the Monday. And we're going to do this. We're going to say thankful for you. So many amazing heartfelt greetings in this Gathering Moments stamp set. Your friendship means the world to me. Grateful for you. Like all of those things are so wonderful and just uplifting. So we're going to bring back the Cajun Craze ink. And we're going to stamp the greeting in the middle like that. And then because we have so many beautiful images, you can stamp whatever you want on the bottom, right? However many, you could do them all if you want to. What did I do? I did the sprig, I did the little berries, and I did the mushroom. Okay, so let's bring back all of that. Make sure I forgot to rinse my chamois this morning. So my chamois here in Alberta, it's very dry, and my chamois dries out overnight. So I know my chamois will not clean my stamp. So I'm just using a baby wipe here to make it go faster. All right, so I need, yeah, the mushroom, the sprig, and the berries. Okay, so make sure, I don't want to mix my ink pad colors, right? So I'm going to make sure they're clean before I put them into their appropriate spots. Okay, so the mushroom, we're going to do pecan pie for this one. You can do the mushroom in crumb cake. There's a lot of different colors. Anything goes. So there's pecan pie with the mushroom. This sprig, we're going to do in old olive. Let's grab that one. Stamp that right there. Love it. And then the little berries, I love these. We're going to just come in here and stamp those in between like that. So fun, right? I am so in love with this product suite, and I think I'm going to be using this one for many, many years to come, for not just for Thanksgiving, right? You don't have to wait for Thanksgiving to tell someone how much you appreciate them, or, you know, just to say thank you, like heartfelt gratitude. It's appropriate at any time of year. Okay, so here we go. We're putting this on the inside. Lots and lots of room to do your greeting. Oh, I just smudged it a little bit. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to replace that piece. It happens, it's real life crafting. Okay, so we're gonna bring in these dots and we're going to put them, scatter them about here. They already have the adhesive on the back, so let's just make sure when you pick them up that you get the adhesive. And that one wanted to stay. So solution, use your take your pick tool. Annika, I'll be reaching out to you, my friend. This is my friend Annika from the Netherlands. I'm so grateful for Annika. She joins me every morning on my Facebook Live, and I appreciate her. We've met lots of great friends on Facebook and the internet from doing virtual things together, right? It's so fun. Okay, there we have it. First card number 1, with stitching using the Trusty Tools pegboard. So fun. Alrighty, let's move on to our next stitch project. Project. So you're going to want to bring in now your card, your envelope that has the early espresso card base. Okay, let me bring that one into the screen. No, sorry, Crush Curry. But first, doing more stitching, we're going to do Crush Curry next. All right, so thank you, Jen. I'm so happy you like this one. I hope you have fun making this one. Some of you have already made, I've heard from some club members that they've already made their cards. They got them, they were so excited they already did it. So that's pretty keen, right? I love it. Okay, so this one has a Crush Curry card base. Then we have, look at this. This is the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, 3D folder. Check out those leaves that are going up and down the basic beige layer here. I love it. This is already done for you. In club, we do all the embossing, all the die cutting. You get everything. All you need to do is stamp and assemble. Okay, so this is the card front. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this down and show you what we're doing. Then we're going to take this piece of designer series paper and we're going to put it on the side like that. We have a piece of the other thread. So we used the old olive. Now we're going to use the early espresso thread. And this is the leaf that we're going to use. And don't worry if your die doesn't completely cut out all the holes. It's not the end of the world because we're going to be piercing that with our whatever needle source you use. Now, I did learn from someone, I think it was Christine actually. Christine did a class with this last week, this product suite. And she was saying if you don't have a needle, and this is like the bluntest needle ever. It will it's not going to, I'm sure if I pushed hard enough, it would puncture my skin. But this is really make sure you get a needle that has a big enough hole, a big enough eye that you can thread this through easily. So a darning needle, a little sewing needle that has, I don't know the proper gauges. I'm not sure, but if any of you are seamstresses, you probably can help me out with that. But you just want to make sure you can actually feed it through. Okay. So then put the early espresso on here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you how I do this. So when I take the leaf, I'm going to come in through the back first. Okay. And you can see my cardstock all these holes are not exposed right now, but they will be when I'm done. So pull your pull your thread through, and then take your leaf and lay it down on your work surface. Leave a little tiny tail like that. And I hope you can see. I'm going to grab a glue dot, and we're going to anchor that down with a glue dot. If any of you are into hand sewing, you know, wow, it's not this easy. Usually you got to like try and tie a knot, make sure the knot's big enough so it doesn't come through. We're going to use glue dots because we're paper crafting. So use your glue dot and anchor that end down like that. Okay, can you see that? I'm going to hold it close. So then you know it's not going to come through your card. Now you can happily sew to your heart's content. Now this one we're going to use a regular stitch. Okay, so it really doesn't matter which order you go as long as you have the front looking like stitched. So we're just going to go, I'm going to take this one and go over to the right and do that stitch. Pull it through and make a stitch. Okay, then we're going to go to the next one and we're going to just go through and come back. Some people call this a back stitch because we're going to go back now and fill in the gap, right? So there's my second stitch like that. We're just going to keep on going here. This is very, some people find fussy cutting therapeutic. I actually like this. You could have all of this die cut and ready to go if you're going on a trip. You know, you could put this in your bag. You're going on a car trip, sorry. I like to stitch in the car. I don't mind tying bows and doing stuff like that in the car. So this would be a fun thing to have ready to go, and you could just pull out your leaves and you could, you know, stitch them up, right? So I'm just going to go, I keep going like one hole ahead and then coming back to the one I just finished, right? So thank you, Jen. It's so fun to do this project. And then, yes, this will be therapeutic as well, Jen says. I agree. And so, like, it's your paper craft stuff, right? But we're using it in such a different, unique way. So here we are. We're just going to pull all these threads through and then just extend to the next one. Actually, my needle probably could have been a little bit smaller, to be honest. It's just fitting. But it's working. So I've done this little zigzag down at the bottom of my leaf. So then I'll just continue on and keep going up, going back like that. You can get faster as you go. I actually think this is easier than stitching fabric, don't you think? We're just going to keep on going here. See how fast I can be. So one of my friends that came to the Boston Pizza class, I didn't think she was going to like this. I thought this was going to be too tedious for her. Oh no. She whipped this out and she got through all of this in like no time flat. I think she could have stitched everybody's stuff in the record time. She's a fast stitcher. So if you know people like that in your life, invite them over to make cards, because this might be the project that gets them into paper crafting and maybe even some scrapbooking, right? It's even relaxing watching me, Jen. Well, that's good. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Just going across here and just going to finish it off this side of the leaf, and then we'll continue on to fill this in. And, you know, when I was doing this project, I was thinking about all the things, all the other threads. We have Baker's Twine Essential Pack. We have, what else do we have that you could do this on your projects, right? So I'm just using the stuff that comes in the Gathering Leaves collection, but there's more. There's more that we have in the Stampin' Up! World to do your stitching with. What about gold, metallic gold threading? Like that would just look fantastic, don't you think? You could use any of the Baker's Twines, like the Baker's Twine Essential Pack has black, vanilla, there's a gray, there's a crumb cake. Yeah, so you could do that. And we've had many, many, many threads and fibers that we could stitch with over the years with Stampin' Up! As I mentioned, my anniversary's coming up. It's 23 years. I have tied bows with many different threads and twines and what have you. So the back is going to look like this. I want to just mention that, okay? So don't worry about the back. Nobody's going to see the back. We're going to be putting this onto our card with dimensionals, and that is going to be covered up. So if you have to stretch across to reach a hole, go for it. It doesn't matter. Even if you're at home and you're like, I don't know how much I need, and you cut too small of a piece, that's okay. Just anchor it down with a glue dot and continue on, my friend. Oops, I keep dropping my needle. There's no right or wrong way to do this, as long as you get the stitches covered from the front, right? So this is my kind of sewing project. I mean, there's no complicated pattern to follow. There's no worrying about my machine or anything like that. And I actually love this. I'm actually having so much fun doing this. Okay, so I've only got a few left, and I'm coming to the end of my twine here. So I don't think I was very efficient on this project, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world if I get to the end and I have to do a couple of loops over with the second piece of twine, okay? So relaxing to embroider and crochet. Annika says, yes, do that while listening to a book. Yes, listening to a book, exactly. Put on your favorite music, listen to an audio book. Whoops, and there we go. We've got to the end. Okay, so I'm just going to take that piece out. We're going to glue that down. And you know what? I don't have another piece to finish off with because I don't have my package in this room. But you can see how this is going to end up like that. And let me bring back the card front. I'm going to stamp my pieces, but I'll show you what it looks like. And actually, if you wanted to, I want to show you our label is going to cover the center part of this leaf. So maybe I could finish this one and put my label up here. Look at that. So again, in Papercraft, let me do that. I'm going to do this because I want to finish this and I don't want to have to go and get my other piece and thread it again. So you can make it work, right? There are so many ways to pivot in a paper crafting class and a paper crafting project. Okay, so we're going to do that today. We're going to pivot. We're going to pivot just like Ross did with the couch on Friends, right? You guys know that episode? We're going to pivot today, and we're going to go ahead with what I've got done on this leaf, and we're going to work with it. So we're going to add the DSP to the side of this piece. Use quite a bit of glue because you're putting it on something embossed, right? So it's got bumps, it's got grooves, it's got little canyons, if you will. It's embossed, right? It's got all kinds of texture. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this on the card front like this. Okay, so there's the front. And then our leaf, we're going to get this anchored down with dimensionals. So grab your dimensionals and stick them wherever you want. I'm actually going to make sure I stick one on top of the twine so that it's going to serve double duty. It's going to anchor that down so it's not going to unravel. Pivot, pivot. Annika says, yeah. Or Jen says, yeah, exactly. I know Jen loves Friends. We've talked about that before. All right, so maybe one right there. And we'll go ahead and peel these off. And here we go. This is going to make a beautiful home decor project. If any of you like to make framed stamped art, oh my gosh, this is going to be beautiful in your home. Okay, so my greeting, I'm just going to size this up. I'm going to be covering this up. So I'm going to put my leaf like that. Okay, press, press. We're happy with that. All right, moving on. This is also from Traditional Labels. It's cut out of crushed curry cardstock, but check out the details in this one. It's got like, this is naturally cut here. So you've got these little edges, and you know Stampin' Up! Thought about us. They're like, whoa, they're gonna do something with these. So you can get these labels and play with them and feed your ribbon through the back or something like that. But for today, we're gonna stamp, quite simply, many things on here. Okay, so we're gonna use Early Espresso for the ink. Get that on a block. And grab my Early Espresso. Tap, tap, tap. And we're going to stamp right on top of here. See, it's easy to stamp. Even with cling, the red rubber, you can still see where you're stamping. Look at that. So cool. All right, so we're going to put this up here. And to keep everything in the level plane, like I do have my leaf popped up on dimensionals. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals out here. So I don't want any like raised bits. I want it to be all level. So this is going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of liquid glue to the label on this side. If I can get it to work. Come on, glue. This glue is dying, slowly dying. It's almost gone, but I refuse to let it go because I know there's more in there. Your Tombow glue is so, look at that. There's tons of glue left in there. See? You just got to have persistence. Okay, so here we go. We're going to press that down onto the dimensionals. Well, hello, Elaine. It's so nice to see you. Okay, so there we go. We've got our greeting on the front, and we've got these amazing Cajun craze and gold dots. We're going to embellish with that. The inside of the card looks like this, expressing heartfelt gratitude. So let's do that. Let's express our heartfelt gratitude the favorite way, my favorite way, with a stamp, right? Okay, expressing heartfelt gratitude. We're going to ink that up with Early Espresso. Early Espresso. Stamp it in the middle. I love, love, love the Basic Beige. This one's got a little fuzz on it. Basic Beige is a great neutral. Such amazing color. Okay, expressing heartfelt gratitude. We're going to bring back the Cajun Craze and the Crushed Curry ink. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the big leaf in the corner. Remove the square cap and the glue will come out. Yes, it allows the air to flow through the tube. Exactly, Annika. Great tip. Yeah. Did you guys know, Annika's talking about our multi-purpose glue. So if you remove this square cap, there is another tip. Many people use this one, and it has a little rubber spreader on it, right, to spread your glue around. But removing this cap, what Annika is saying, is going to allow the air to go in through that opening and then push the glue out. So lots of different ways to get the glue to start flowing again, right? Okay, so we're going to stamp Cajun Craze leaf right there. And we're going to bring in the little dots. Where did they go? They're here on my desk. Little stamp, a little stamp. Oh, there it is. I had my baby white put on it. Okay, there we go. We're going to stamp a couple of those around this little leaf here. Just tying all the feature colors that I've used on this card into the center. All right, so there we go. There's the inside. Let's get our glue on. Let's get our game going. All right, so there it is. We're going to put this inside. Okay, so that's going to go right here. Beautiful. And then we're going to embellish now. Okay, embellish. Embellish, embellish. Let's grab these little dots. We'll put one right up here on the greeting. And we'll put a couple out here in the white space, or the Basic Beige space to be exact. These are gorgeous, gorgeous dots. All right, so there we have it. Many thanks with the Early Espresso stitched leaf. Ah, I love it. Okay, we have one more card to do, and that one is your package with the Early Espresso card base. Let's pull that one in. And let me show you what we're making. We are going to make a card that looks like this. Look at that. We're using yet another of the traditional labels. And we've got an inside here. Expressing heartfelt gratitude on the front. And then we're going to say, your friendship means the world to me. So this card I love because you get to sample a lot of the Designer Series paper. Did you ever have a package of Designer Series paper and you're like, I love all the patterns, I want to use them all? Well, this style you can, right? So I'll leave this card off to the left there, and let's open this up. So in your package, you're going to have a little Ziploc bag or some kind of something to hold the sequence. We've got another one of the traditional labels, and the delicate features of this label is amazing. You've got these little pieces on the side. I don't want to pull on them and rip them, but it does add such beautiful eye-catching detail to these labels. Traditional labels, go grab it in the online store. You're going to love it. Okay, what do we need? Okay, so you're going to have a scrap piece of paper here. This is for your stamping Now, if you don't own the dies, if you didn't buy the the Gathering Moments bundle, you could use whatever you want, okay? So maybe you didn't buy the bundle, but you got a scrap piece of paper right here. This is to stamp these 3 images, and I'm gonna do just that, and I'm gonna use the dies and show you how beautiful they cut. But that's what this scrap piece is for. It's for you to stamp whatever you want or to punch out whatever you want. Maybe you have an acorn at home of a different set. You have leaves, you have a leaf punch. Whatever it is you want to do with that scrap paper is up to you, okay? So we're going to do that. Let's do that first. Let's get our die cutting out of the way. I do like to do all my die cutting, and then I can sit down and put the card together. Okay, so for this card, we're going to do some stamping on here using the stamps from the Gathering Moments. So we need, I think I've got them all out here. We need this leaf here. We need our acorn, and I'm going to show you how to use Stampin' Write markers to color your acorn. And what else do we need? We need the little berries, okay? And we're going to stamp and then cut. All right, so we've got everything we need. We need Old Olive ink. We got a lot of, like, you got plenty of cardstock here. Jen said, sorry, had to leave, but I'm back. Well, welcome back, Jen. Good to see you. Okay, so there's our Old Olive leaf. Now our berries, we're going to stamp with Cajun Craze. Right there. And did I stamp? What did I stamp on the inside? Okay, I'll leave those colors out. All right, so we need the pecan pie for our acorn. So for the acorn, we're going to stamp with pecan pie, okay? First, but I want to grab my Early Espresso Stampin' Write marker, okay? And I'm going to show you. Now, Stampin' Up! Is retiring the Stampin' Write markers. Grab them while you can. They are on the last chance list, but I really think you're going to want to have these in your collection. You can use them to color with, and you can also use them to do direct to ink stamping technique, and that's what I'm going to show you now. So this is another technique I'm going to show you. We're going to take the acorn and we're going to stamp with pecan pie. Then we're going to open our marker with the thick end right here. You can tell by the side here, this thick white band, that's the marker end. And we're going to color the top of the acorn with the Early Espresso Stampin' Write marker. And you're probably thinking, but you've got pecan pie on there. But that's a lighter ink. It's not going to ruin my dark Early Espresso marker, okay? So it's all good in the hood. Okay, so we're going to stamp right there. Look at that. Let me hold this close so you can appreciate how real life that looks with the acorn, right? The two-tone with the cards, with the 2 colors on the stamps. So that's our acorn, our berries, and our greenery. So we're just going to quickly grab the dies and we're going to run these through so easily. So we've got that one. We've got, I know we've got an acorn here. Ah, where's my acorn? Uh-oh. Don't tell me I lost it. This little, oh, there it is. Whew, it fell off. There it is. That little acorn, he knows that I love him because he's been playing these little games with me a lot lately. Okay. Everything is good. Whew. A little bit of a rush there. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our Post-it tape on top so that things stay where they're supposed to, especially that acorn that likes to jump around. Okay, my little leaf die. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put this one on here. Do you guys have, let me know in the comments, do you have a Mini Boss? Because that would be a great one for these little dies. Mini Boss, Mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is amazing and it is so handy to have it. Mine sits within arm's reach of me so that I can do exactly what I'm going to do here with you today. Pop these through, run them through. Under my desk. No, I got it. Annika, yes, that's so funny. That did happen last week. It did. And Annika was with me. One of my dies went flying under my desk and I had to get under there. On the video, in the middle of the video, I was under my desk. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. This is the stuff that happens when you're live. All right, so we've got our Mini Boss. I've got my Boho Blue Mini. I'm putting on my card stock with the dies in place, and we're going to put the top plate on. like that. We're making a sandwich, giving myself some room here. And here we go. We're rolling through the machine, and the wheels are doing all the work. Okay, so lift off your top plate, give it a swipe onto your desk, and you are good. I love the mini boss. You need a mini boss in your life. You do. Even if you have a big boss, the mini boss is such a great one. If you go stamp with a friend, you go to a retreat, you take your Stampin' Supplies. Yeah, you should, Inika. Inika's going to buy the mini one. Yeah. I have folded that little guy up and put it in my purse. If you have a big handbag, you know what, it fits, right? And sometimes it's all you need, right? If you're taking your supplies on the road, or even if you're not, even if you stamp in your craft room with, maybe you have a granddaughter or a grandson, or you know, that you stamp with someone, and it's just such an easy little machine to pull out. All right, where's the rest of my supplies? Okay. Okay, so we got those cut out, got that done. Let's do the fun stuff now. Let's put this together. Okay, so we've got our sequence here. We've got our label. We've got these pieces of DSP. We're going to, let's do the stamping and get that out of the way. So this one is going to have expressing heartfelt gratitude. So let's get that. Expressing heartfelt gratitude. So we're going to ink that up with, I'm using Early Espresso, or words. Early Espresso. We're stamped that in the middle like that. And then while I've got the Early Espresso out, we're also going to stamp. The middle is, your friendship means the world to me. Yes, indeed it does. Look at that. Okay, let's get that on a block. Let's get that on a block, and we can stamp the inside, which is this big piece of white here. Okay, so big piece of white, ink it up, and stamp in the middle. Boom, done. Woo, I love it. Okay, so then the inside piece, we did another acorn. Yes, we did. Now, when you're doing your acorn, make sure you clean your stamp before you go back into your pecan pie, because you don't want to put that Early Espresso ink into your pecan pie ink pad, because that's not going to be good, right? You don't want to mix your colors. So tap, tap, tap with your pecan pie, grab your Early Espresso Stampin' Write marker, add a little touch of dark brown from the Early Espresso to the top of your acorn, and stamp that. Oh, I love it. It never gets old. I just love that little acorn. Okay, last but not least, we're going to grab that sprig, that leaf again, and do that. Love it. You can add more, right? We have all these images. I have all these images on my desk. Let's add a little bit of berries right there. And maybe another one down here. Just fill in the white space, right? So nice. And don't forget about your envelope, because it's always fun to stamp your envelopes. People love getting Happy Mail, and even better, when the outside of an envelope is stamped, I could probably guarantee you that they're going to open your envelope before they open their bills, right? Happy Mail. Send your Happy Mail. Let's get the glue flowing again here. Come on, Tombow. Don't fail me now. I have several Tombow on the go. They all have glue left in them, I promise you. Come on. Maybe not. Let's try Inika's trick. Let's take the back off. Oh, I can hear the air in this one. I think this one is done. I might have to call it. There's no glue. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Tombow. You served me well. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next guy. Let's see. Do you have any for me? I got new ones too. Don't worry. Can't run out of adhesive. Always, always, always stock up on adhesive. And always open your pink envelopes before anything else, Jen says. Yeah, thank you, Jen. I love my pink envelopes. They are definitely Happy Mail. Boy, the Tombow is on strike today. Did I really run out of all of my Tombows? Okay, we're going to clean up here today. We're putting all that in the trash. We're getting a new one. A new Tombow. Okay. Tombow. Okay, it's a special day. We open a new one. So we're going to pull off the covering like that. And then we've got a brand new one. Ready. Okay, we're back in business. Look at that. Ooh, a little teeny tiny line going all the way around. There we go. Get my little silicone cup and we're golden. Okay, so this is gonna go on the inside of my card. We're doing the inside first. Doesn't matter. You can do it in any order you want. It all gets done, right? All gets done. Okay, there's the inside. And then the front is going to be, we're going to put all these patterns together, right? We got leaves over here. We've got a plaid down here. We got a plaid up there. And we got green here. If you like the back side, you can flip them over. I'm going to use the same patterns here because they have, these patterns I find are really fall. They're all fall, right? But I just wanted to use leaves. I love the gold. This one here that I'm putting glue on right now, it kind of looks like the bark of a tree, you know. This one, the Cajun Craze, has leaves on it. Okay, just get your glue on and then you can have fun putting it together. Okay, so which one is the leaves? Yes, okay. So we're going to put this one up in the front, up in the top left, like that. Leave yourself about a 1/8 to 1/4 inch border, okay? And then the bottom, we're gonna put the plaid, the Crush Curry plaid. Not Crush Curry, it's Cajun Craze, but there is a little strip of Crush Curry and some little strips of little lines of early espresso on there. There's our old olive stripes right here. Like so. And the top has our plaid with the golden accents. Isn't that fun? So beautiful. Now this is going to go on the front of all of it to tie it all together with, you guessed it, dimensionals. Pop it up, pop it up. Okay, so we're gonna use one in the middle. We're gonna balance this out. And then we're gonna do 4 dimensionals on the corners. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, like this. Okay, so we got our dimensionals. Let's go ahead and get these little backings off of my table here. Okay, and put this in the middle of the card. Now this style of card could be you could use this style with any kind of designer series paper. We're doing, you know, of course, a fall card. But I love, love, love this style. Okay, so let's bring the glue back and we'll glue these little accents down. So we're gonna put a little bit of glue like that. We'll put this leaf over here. We're gonna balance it out. Put that leaf right there. We're gonna put these little berries along the edge over here, like that. And then the acorn is gonna be front. I love the acorn. It's my favorite. Cute little detail. There we go. And last but not least, we have our gold sequence to tie in all the gold from the paper, right? The gold accents. So my favorite way to attach this is to decide where I want these little pieces of sequence to go. And then I'll come in with my Tombow and add the teeny tiny little bit of glue, like that. One there, and I'm going to put one down here. Okay, so I put the glue on first, and then I'm going to use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool to pick these up. Okay, so let's pick up one and just gently lay it there. Give the glue a chance to adhere to it, and then same thing there, and this one goes up here. You could use your finger to help get it off. Now, I wouldn't touch this right away. Let the sequence a chance to adhere properly. So there we have it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was card number 3. Let's bring them all back in. But before I do, I want to share with you, this is what Jen and I send. Ask Simon says, love fall cards and love this set. I do too. Absolutely, I agree. So this is what Jen... what am I trying to say? Christine and I send to our club members so that they can have a sample of stitching, hand stitching. So I took the pegboard and I cut it into pieces and I sat in front of true story. My husband and I were watching a movie and I stitched these and then we glued them down. And then here is how to do the technique. So you can put them in your Memories of More binder if you like, or if you don't want to have a binder, you can glue them together, front and back, like that. Poke a hole, punch a hole, put them onto a binder ring, and you can have a binder ring full of techniques. It's totally up to you how you handle it, but this is what we send you with your 3 cards. So let's do a little recap of our 3 cards. So this is the first one with our hand stitching, like cross stitch on the side. Then we did this one with the hand stitching using early espresso thread through the leaf, because the leaves have that feature, right, from the dies. So when you buy this set, you're going to get these leaf insert pieces that are going to cut out the holes for you, right? Such a fun thing. This was the first thing I noticed when the online exclusives came out, was this app. This one absolutely caught my eye with the stitching. I was so attracted to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to stitch on cards for our technique for September. So I hope you like the cards this time, and I hope you'll join us. It was so fun to have you all with me. Thank you guys for all your comments and your likes, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. My Stamping with Rose is my YouTube channel here, and I am so excited that you joined me either live here today or with the replay. I'm going to thank you, Lynn Beasley. Thank you so much. Just going to flip you back around. There's my ceiling. And I want to say a huge thank you for taking the time to come and watch this video. I hope you try hand stitching on your paper crafting projects. It takes them up a level and adds a nice addition, like some texture, and you know, and I can, while I was even making these cards with you today, I could think of other cards I want to do with stitching. And you know, you can pierce your own pattern with the pointy end of your Take Your Pick tool and a pierce mat underneath, right? And then just go ahead and thread some twine, whatever it is you want to do, and you can stitch up your cards. It's fun to have these different elements to our paper crafting. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you all so much, and I know Christine does too. And I hope you enjoy stitching your cards and getting these projects done if you're in the club. And if you'd like to join our club in October, we got some fun stuff coming for you and in the months ahead, and we'd love to have you join us. Take care, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.